Good morning, everybody. Ooh, it got cold last night. It probably got down past, oh man, it had to be 30 last night at least because it is cold this morning. So Dad's strength's getting my head carrier. Got the Gleaner started. Gonna let it warm up here for a second. We're gonna set the head off, and then we're going to hook the empty head carrier behind this one. And I'm going to take the 1660 with the head on it to the next farm and get a place cut to bring the Gleaner. Another situation where we can't get off the road without cutting some beans. So I'll just run there with the 1660 with the head still on it, which 20-foot head, no big deal, take down the road. And get a place cut to get this in here and or get this in there and get this head put back on. So today we're going to try to knock out 4 farms. If we can get them knocked out, they're 4 smaller fields. Dad's taking the semi to unload it. And we're going to see what else exciting happens today. You just never know. Running older equipment, something's going to happen, I'm sure. So hopefully nothing happens and we can just have an easy day and get some beans cut. So we get these knocked out, and that'll put us down to probably about that 300 acre mark left. Well, no, probably 250 left. I'll have to sit and figure it out, but I'd say we'd be down around 250. So I'll have to look at my iPad and see exactly what the acreages were. It's a lot to remember, plus all the excavating stuff that we do, so there's a lot to remember and everything. So I think Gleaner's warm enough now. We're going to drive over there and sit the head off. I got to take the drive shaft off and unplug the header control and reel speed, and we'll set her off. So stay tuned. Let's see what exciting things happen today. Well, we're on our way to the field now. Heading through the Knox Industrial Park. Pretty interesting place. Everything's in buildings. Can't really see what's going on. Oh shit, that was a little rough. But this place right here, they build custom house kits. They're pretty cool. They're all the walls and everything. They stack them on semi-trailers and then take them out and assemble them, and it's a house. You got Shaw's Fertilizer right there. You got traffic control specialists right there. They do pretty much all the traffic control stuff in the state of Indiana and Illinois. So if you ever see a road cone or something that says TCS, that's where it comes from. They've got tons of stuff out there. It's crazy the amount of signs and shit that they have. And the barrels, there's like stacks and stacks and stacks of orange barrels and cones and stuff. It's kind of cool. But we're going to keep on our adventure here. We got another, probably about 4 miles to go yet before we're at the next farm. So it's been an uneventful trip. Haven't had much traffic to deal with. It is Saturday morning and everybody's still sleeping in. I would be too if I didn't have to work today because I am tired. But it's just part of the job. So you just learn to be tired and deal with being tired, I guess. So I love it so much that I'm willing to be tired and do this job. So, but I'm sure guys that farm know how it is. So anyways, we're gonna keep on the move here and get some beans cut. Oh, look at the little ducks or something. I don't know what these things are. Little pheasants or something. That's kind of cool. So okay, we're gonna keep on the road. Now it's the old Gleaner's turn to go to the next field. So we're gonna get her. Dad's strength's pulling the head carrier out for the other head. He's gonna pull it to the field. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna lock the gate up, and then we are out of here. We're going to the next one. I tried to cut a little bit at the next one, but it's pretty tough yet. So by the time we get there, it'll probably run. So get going. I gotta clean my windows when I get there. They're pretty dirty from last night and all that dust, and then it rained a little bit, and it rained a little bit and made them tacky, and the dust just collected to them, so I'm gonna clean them as soon as I get to the field so I can see. We still need to drag a chain behind the combine and see if there's anything to that myth. We haven't done that yet, and maybe we'll do that next week sometime. We'll see. So, well, we're gonna get on the road and give her hell and get out of here. We got the old Gleaner to the field, got the head on it. I cleaned my windows. Oh, so much nicer. I can see. Clean my mirrors. I can see out of my mirrors now. Don't mind the streaks and smears and spots. I'd never make it as one of those skyscraper window cleaners, but I can clean them good enough that I can see out of them anyways. It's tough to clean windows. You just end up with smears and stuff that you don't see until you get back in the seat and you're like, oh, I missed a spot. Oh well, it'll work. So we're gonna get to mowing off some beans this morning. I got 14 acres over there that I picked up. I'm gonna go head over and cut that off real quick. And that was a new farm for this year. It's on the other side of that Highline Tower. And I kind of planted all that through there as a bonus, but it was too high and dry over the summer, so it didn't produce anything. But if there's patches there, we'll mow them off. But if not, oh well. So we're gonna head over there right now and get started cutting and see what we can get done today. So when I started Dirt Green and Steel here on YouTube, I made a vow that I would show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, this is the ugly. We didn't get any rain. These beans were on their way for at least a 35 bushel average. At least. They were beautiful. I planted them. I got them planted. They were planted later. They caught some good rains. And then it dried up in July and August. And that was it for them. Just destroyed them. They had 2 passes of spray on them. They never did canopy very well. The weeds kind of took them over. It's trash. So I'm gonna mow them off and try again next year. You know, and I even gave these a good fertilizer program. Well, you see the sprayer tracks right there. They ran over twice. They followed the same sprayer tracks. So they were sprayed, but just hot and dry, and the weeds were already stressed, so they didn't absorb the spray very well, and it was just a bad year. I almost feel like just saying that these beans just got the coronavirus. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna blame it on that. Everybody else blames the coronavirus for other stuff, you know. So we're gonna blame the piss poor soybean yields on the coronavirus. So we're gonna cut these, get rid of them, put them out of their misery. At least you can see from my other videos that I can grow soybeans. It's just that in some spots they just failed miserably. So, you know, I give these a higher rate of sulfur because soybeans have been proven to like sulfur. They had their nitrogen, they had everything. It stuck my neck out. And then I got nothing. Oh well. I mean, it's farming. It's a gamble. You never know what's going to happen. You can't control the weather. And unfortunately, we can't afford to irrigate every acre we farm. And this farm, you really couldn't irrigate it. It's not really big enough back here. So in the good ground, they're beautiful. I mean, I'm very happy with them. If the whole field looked like the low ground, oh, I'd be tickled to death. But we'll get what we can get and try again next year. So, you know, I love to farm. And, you know, it upsets me that this looks like this. But, you know, what do you do? Even that corn over there across the fence row, the ears are really tiny on it. I mean, it put all its effort into its stalk, and then it got dry, and it pretty much aborted the ear, and that was it. So hopefully, I'm hoping our corn yields are good this year, which a lot of guys have been telling us that they're very happy with their corn. So seems like a lot of people we talk to, 30 bushel beans are it for this year. That's all you're gonna get. It's just how it was. But see how nice these are down here? I wish the whole farm looked like this, minus the weeds. So there are some good beans. These are at least 3 foot tall through here. Well, I'm pretty happy with this section. And over that away a little bit. So I'm gonna keep cutting. Hopefully Mom's bringing lunch soon because I'm getting hungry. So I'm gonna keep cutting, get this cleaned off, and then we'll head to the next field. I think the next field's gonna look a little better. So let's see what happens. Well, I stopped real quick for lunch, and Dad comes driving up over there, and it's like, what's he doing? He should be cutting beans. He calls me, he's like, you won't believe this. He's like, I just broke the rotor belt. It just up and broke in half. He's like, you've got to quit talking about doing videos on certain things because they start happening. Because a guy in the One Case Combine Facebook page asked me to do a video on replacing a rotor belt in a 1660. Well, here we go. We're going to do a video on replacing a rotor belt in 1660. So Dad went to get a rotor belt. I'm going to keep cutting in my field, see if I can get this done, get over there and help him and do a video on that. So Mom brought hot dogs and macaroni and cheese to the field, so I had to stop for a little bit. So that was a good lunch. So I'm going to get back at it now. I got all my beans done. We had to change the rotor belt on Dad's combine. I might add a little of that video into this video, but I was going to make a whole nother video out of the changing the rotor belt. But now we're into some good low ground, and these beans are beautiful. I'm liking cutting these beans a lot better than mine over at my farm. So we're going to get this knocked out. We got just this little bit left. And then we're going to head across the road to another farm, get that one knocked out. Probably go get the grain cart for that one because I believe co-op is closed by now this afternoon. So we'll just go get the grain cart and put them on it so we can keep mine and this farm separate for the insurance purposes. So, but yeah, Dad was cutting along and all of a sudden his rotor light went off, or come on, and the alarm went off, and I went back in the engine compartment and found the rotor belt broke, just up and broke. So kind of strange. Luckily Wayne Welker Equipment had one in stock. He ran down to Winnemac, grabbed it, come back. While he was gone, I finished cutting on my farm, started tearing his combine apart. We got her swapped out and he's going again. So quick rotor belt change. Good thing we're good at it. That's only, let's see, probably the second rotor belt that's combine's had in probably 10 years. So that ain't too bad. The case belts seem to last the longest. Anything aftermarket, they just don't last. So that's why we always try to put the Gleaner AGCO belts on the Gleaner and the case belts on the case combine. They just seem to last a lot longer than anything else. So, okay, I'm going to get back to cutting and quit rattling on. Now we'll get some video of Dad for a little bit. He likes to be YouTube famous, I guess. Never liked it until I started taking it serious. And now that I'm getting subscribers, he's starting to like it. I guess I'm doing a good job on YouTube. I'm trying. I never imagined I'm approaching 1,000 subscribers, like 50 away from having 1,000. I never imagined that anybody would like my videos as much as they do and enjoy watching them. But I guess I do good at making videos, and what I do is interesting. Between the fabricating, the farming, and the excavating, I guess it keeps it interesting and keeps people riveted to my channel, which that's a good thing. So tell your friends, share my videos on social media, and tell whoever else that would enjoy it. Well, on to the next field. We're going to unload real quick, and then we're going to head on down the road and start cutting again. Some pretty soybeans off the lower ground. They've got good size to them. Just need more acres of those, that's all. About this auger is when it lays back, it don't dribble out grain constantly like the other style augers that just swing in. Because when it lays back, none of the grain can come out of it because it's, you know, laying on its back and the end's capped, so nothing can come out. So that's one cool advantage of a gleaner, I think. You don't lose as much grain out the auger when it's folded. So I had a good question in the comments about the gleaner. The question was, am I getting all the grain with the gleaner? Is it leaving anything behind? Well, yes, it is a clean job. It is leaving nothing behind. What it is leaving is caused by head loss from the sickles actually cutting through the bean pods, because this year the beans, they potted all the way to the ground, and there's nothing you can do about that. Basically, you know, I guess another comment was, well, if you had a newer combine, you would get every bit of the grain. That's not true either. You strip all these new combines down, you pull the fancy plastic side panels off, you rip the cab off that's got the mini fridge in it off the machine, you pull all the hydraulic stuff off of it, pull the motor with all the emission shit on it, and what do you have sitting there? You have a separator that looks just like any other separator. You know, and nowadays it's not so much about cleaning, it's about higher capacity to run the bigger heads, take more in at a time. So the general principle of the combine is still there, and there's only so many ways you're going to make it. Now Kloss came out with their combines. Their combines have 2 cylinders for thrashing, and the twin rotors actually do the separation in them instead of having straw walkers like the Gleaner has. So that made them more efficient for higher capacity. When it comes to setting a combine, you know, a lot of guys say, well, I set it by the book. The book is just a suggestion. The book is a starting point for setting a combine. The book is not worst case scenarios. It's not going from low spots like this with good heavy beans to high spots like that with barely any beans. So you've got to know how to balance that out. It's a lot of operator instinct. If you've got beans that are cracking, it's because your cylinder speed or your rotor speed's too high, or your concave's too tight. If you're losing beans off the back, it could be because your fan speed's too high, or you're not doing enough thrashing in the cylinder or the rotor, and there's actually pods going out the back and hitting the chopper, and it's shelling them at the chopper. And by that point, they're out on the ground. There's nothing you can do for them. So you got to get your concave set right, you got to get your airflow set right, you got to get your screens set right. Because if your screens aren't right, your grain's going to go right out on the ground anyways. So the book, like I said, is just a starting point, just a suggestion. When they made those books, they were best case scenarios. It's just like anything else. In the excavating world, they make them dirt moving books. Well, them dirt moving books don't account for wet soil conditions, you know, not being able to get around with a truck or an excavator or whatever. It's all the same in the farming world also. So I guess moral of the story is, it don't matter how old the combine is, it's how the guy sets it. This Gleaner can be just as efficient as a new combine with no problem. I guarantee it. I guarantee you I'll put, well, next week when we get the S67 out here, we'll do a test. We'll put them side by side out in the field. We'll see, we'll check the job. We'll see what the new one does compared to the old one. So, but you know, it's just some people think that the new is always better. Well, it's not, because the new ones, you strip them down, you still got the old technology underneath their plastic side panels. And you know what? Actually, the newer ones aren't as fuel efficient as the old ones, because they're pulling so much hydraulic stuff. They're running gearboxes. You know, these older Gleaners with just the belt drives, the chain drives, you're not losing all that power through a big hydraulic pump. You're actually putting that power to where it needs to go. Like the L2, for instance. This is what's interesting. My L2 is only, I think, 158 horse. Yeah, I think they're only 158 horse. The 1660, I believe, is like 238 horse. And I'm doing just as much or more with the L2 with plenty of power, with a 25-foot head, less horsepower, than Dad's doing with the 1660, higher horsepower with a 20-foot head. Yeah, did I say that right? I got a 25, Dad's got a 20-foot. So, on these Gleaner combines, they had it figured out. They got the belt and pulley sizes right, and they just done more with less horsepower and less fuel. You know, Allis-Chalmers done a really good job at designing equipment. Some people say they didn't, and that's why they're out of business. But you know what? They made all kinds of rock crushing equipment, and a lot of that stuff's from the 40s, and I know guys that are still running Allis-Chalmers rock crushers, and there's no end in sight for the life of that rock crusher. They've been using it for years. So Allis-Chalmers was a good company. They had stuff figured out. They even made their own truck engine for a while. So it's just a shame that, you know, they kind of went by the wayside, but, you know, that happened with a lot of equipment companies that I wish were still around, but they're just not. So progression kind of put them under the table, I guess is what you would call it. So anyways, we're going to keep cutting beans and get this field done. We got just across over there to the corn to do, and then there's a little up on that sand hill left to do, and then we're done here. So, and that cornfield on the other side of the fence is ours. I can't wait to get in there and start picking some corn. That's some good looking corn. So anyways, I'm going to finish cutting. I think I'm going to end this video right here. So if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one.